Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We ask that all program participants please take your seats at this time. Good evening and welcome to the press release for the 86th Grand Chapter meeting of Kappa Alpha Psi. We ask that all program participants please take your seats at this time.
Kappa Alpha Psi was founded, and of its praises we sing, and of its praises we sing. God help our voices to ring, and for me there'll be no other like Kappa Alpha Psi. Finally, has been on my.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We ask that you all please take your seats at this time. All program participants, can you please take your seats at this time? Welcome to the 86th Grand Chapter official press release.
History of Kappas, you know they're, yes, you know they're noble and bold. If you've heard their story told, and for me there'll be no other like Kappa Alpha Psi. When we cross the river Jordan to that far-off golden shore, there we'll find a resting place for Kappas, a place we all can adore. Yes, a place we all can adore, on that far-off golden shore, there to be with Elder Watson forever and ever. In the year of 1911, where the arbutus blooms in the spring, Kappa Alpha Psi was founded, and of its praises we
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce Kevin J. Johnson, National Meeting Planner and Co-Chairman of the Grand Chapter Meeting Planning Committee.
Good evening. Good evening and welcome to Kappa Alpha Psi's 86th Grand Chapter Meeting Press Conference. On behalf of Grand Pole Mark Reuben A. Shelton III Esquire and the 34th Administration of this greatest fraternity known to God and man, I'm truly excited to stand before you as the National Meeting Planner and co-chairman of the Grand Chapter Planning Committee to kick off this exciting event. Tonight, the final leg of our trek to the city of Tampa Bay begins, so let's start the journey. The venue for tonight is the beautiful Tampa Water Center in the beautiful Jelane B. Lane Riverfront Park in downtown Tampa. Over the next hour, you'll hear much about the 86th Grand Chapter meeting, an important event to Kappa Alpha Psi and to the city of Tampa Bay. It will bring thousands of members of our fraternity, our families, guests, and others to conduct the business of our Grand Chapter, but equally important to have some fun and enjoy all that the city of Tampa Bay has to offer. Let it be known that our beloved fraternity is the first of the Divine Nine to host a national convention in this great city. That deserves a round of applause. This evening, you'll hear from leaders from the fraternity, the community, and the city, as well as special guest hosts who will share details surrounding the 86th Grand Chapter meeting, which will be held on July 18th to 23rd of 2023. Tonight's event is also being live streamed across our official YouTube channel, so in advance, we thank everyone who has joined us remotely for this evening's festivities. We promise that we'll keep things moving with the numerous speakers, videos, and other activities. For a moment, though, I'd like to reflect on something important to all of us. A lot has occurred over the past 2.5 years since this COVID pandemic began. Simply put, our lives have all changed, and things will never be the same. As it's often said, one of the only things that is constant in our lives is change. No one could have imagined the devastation and despair that COVID has brought to the world. Among the 1 million people who have perished, most of us have lost family members, friends, and colleagues, yet we must remain vigilant in living our lives to the fullest, but under a different set of circumstances. The same is true for the essential hospitality industry. It has been severely impacted and is still recovering. Honestly, no one knows if it will ever return to its original state. Many organizations and groups, including Kappa, have not been able to meet in person since 2020 for any large conventions, conferences, and events. Many are just starting to meet again and in person, and in God willing, we will meet again in 2023. Let it be known, though, that Kappa Alpha Psi and the city of Tampa, led by the great team of Visit Tampa Bay, have created and fostered a great relationship over the years, and especially since 2018. And we have been and continue to work tirelessly to plan and execute a successful event which will have a significant economic and societal impact on the city of Tampa. Now, before we get things started and hear from our speakers and the official host for the evening, let me thank all of the individuals behind the scene who helped to bring this event to fruition. A lot of them are still on the clock right now as we speak. First and foremost, the planning team and especially our on-site team, our national leadership, the Grand Board of Directors, the province leadership, the phenomenal staff at international headquarters, the Tampa Bay Water Center and the Julian B. Riverfront Park team, our production crew, our caterers, our community supporters, Visit Tampa Bay, and most importantly, all of our guests. We thank each and every one of you individually and collectively for joining us this evening for what I know will be a great event and will lead us to an even greater event next July. As I wrap up, here's a few Grand Chapter meeting highlight numbers which I'd like to leave you with. 3,000 brothers registered, 12,000 family, friends, others in town from all over the world, a $10 million economic impact on the city of Tampa, 200 plus events over a 10-day span, including business sessions, workshops, seminars, and other social activities. A plethora of local activities hosted by our host, the Tampa Bay Alumni Chapter, a very unique public and awards program celebrating our highest achievers, and a one-of-a-kind vending area which will include an array of activities which will engage the community and provide you with countless ways to spend your dollars here in Tampa Bay. However, in addition to all the numbers I've mentioned, let's be mindful of the one most important number in the world, in my opinion, and that's the number 1. I say this for a reason. There's power in that number, 1. The ability to have one person do one thing that can impact hundreds or even thousands. One's voice, one's action can only have an impact on the success of tonight's event, but also on the 86th Grand Chapter meeting. So do your part to make sure that the 86th Grand Chapter meeting is a success. Kappa is watching you, but more importantly, the world is watching Kappa. The power of one, the impact is one that can't be underestimated. The reach of one is immeasurable. Remember, all roads lead to Tampa Bay, and we're so excited. We're so excited to be back here in a short 340 days, 12 hours, and 13 minutes. With that being said, let's welcome the first set of speakers to the podium. In this order, you'll hear from the Honorable Gwen Myers, Hillsborough County Commissioner, District 3, Mr. Santiago Corrada, the President and CEO of Visit Tampa, the team who is responsible for us being here, and last but not least, my dear friend and colleague for 20 years in this tough hospitality industry, Ms. Sherri Brown, Vice President of Multicultural Sales and Development from Visit Tampa Bay as well. Let's welcome each one of them as they come to address us.
Good evening. I'm County Commissioner Gwen Myers, representing District 3 on the Board of County Commission. Thank you, Kappas, for coming to Tampa. John, I met you last year, along having lunch with Sherri. You were begging for money. Les Miller, you've been calling me all year, begging for money. I am so pleased to announce tonight the Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners is putting $150,000 to bring the Kappas to Tampa, Florida. That should give you a round of applause. As a part of the Divine Nine, as an AKA, I understand and know what it's about when we provide service to our community. In Kappas, the local chapter, you all know how to provide service to the local community. We empower young people, and that's what we're supposed to be about. Anytime one of the Divine Nine can come to Tampa, and I'm sad to say that the AKAs are not first, but it's okay, Kappas, you all are first. We're too large to come in, but we're gonna have to come in. We're gonna have to come in through a regional conference, but we're coming. Understand, the AKAs are coming. We're gonna follow you all. But on a more serious note, thank you for all that you do. It is not easy when you're representing your organizations. You all are known throughout the world, throughout the country. And what you do, you help young people, you help the elderly. And I read something on your website about your motto, achievement in the human spirit endeavors. I think it's something like that. But that means that encompasses everybody, that you know how to serve and help people. And that's what we should be about, serving those who are less fortunate, looking for an opportunity just like us. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Santiago Corrada, the President and CEO of Visit Tampa Bay. And dear Lord, thank you for this day. Because we bid in 2012, and it wasn't meant to be. And I'll remember 2017 in Orlando like it was yesterday, how happy we were to finally get you to come to Tampa. And back then, I made some promises. I think some of the gentlemen here were in the room, and I'm still here to keep those promises. So beyond the $10 million economic impact, beyond 16,000 plus attendees, it's about making friends and family. And so we make it happen here because we have friends and family like Commissioner Myers, who can go and get it done. She is on the road with us all the time. And before then, Commissioner Miller and his wife, Gwen Miller, ex-senator, ex-House representative, ex-commissioner, they're by our side to make sure that we can bring a distinguished group like yours to our destination. And I promise you, just like I did back in 2017, that you never forget your first. And we will never forget you, and you will never forget the time you had in Tampa, one of the hottest cities, markets in the United States of America. You Google Tampa, Florida, top 10 list for just about everything. There's a little reason why we're now referred to as Tampa Bay. And that's not just in sports. That's in tourism, that's in economic development, that's in business development. You will experience a city like no other, and it won't take us 10 years to get you back. You will want to come back. So to our home team, to our alphas, our kappas, I'm sorry. I know. Listen, I got my colors on, I know. To our local kappas, thank you. To our team here in town, thank you. Sherri Brown needs no introduction. She's been working at it since 2012. Our Vice President of Multicultural Business Development, Sherri Brown.
Good evening, everyone. I come from a blues family. My sister is Shirley Brown, so I know blues. Sam Cooke, it's been a long time coming. And I have to say that on behalf of Les and Gwen Miller. And I'm so grateful for this moment in my career. And KJ and John and Mr. Sheldon is from my hometown, St. Louis. And this is a moment that I've always dreamed of sitting at a bus stop in East St. Louis, and it was 2 degrees. And I said, one day, I'm going to book Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. It has taken me about 40 years, but you know what? God is still good, and you have to stay persistent. I'm so grateful for my leader, Santiago C. Corrada, that gives me so much inspiration all the time. I'm so grateful for the Tampa Alumni Chapter and all the friendship. And I remember right quick, David and John and I sit at the Grand Hyatt playing the Founders Day. Mosquitoes just ate me up. And we made it happen, and I was having surgery, knee surgery. But I wanted to make sure that you all were okay. But however, after the knee surgery, John wanted to get me a wheelchair and just bring me in. So John and I are like a little bit like the good Ike and Tina Turner. He'd be like, Tina, come on, Tina, we got to go. Ain't time for you to get sick. So I have to say that is my dear, dear brother and friend forever, and KJ, that has been with me for 20 years, and through the National Coalition of Black Meeting Planners. Welcome. I'm here forever, 24/7. You know you can call on me. And on behalf of our Visit Tampa Bay team, Vanessa, our PR, Kier, our photographer here tonight, and Susan Williams. She is Vice President of Services. They are the wind beneath my wing. Thank you.
Thank you once again to Gwen, Santiago, and Sherri. Let's give them all a round of applause. Now, at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the Executive Director of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, John F. Farrell, who will guide you through the next portion of this program. I'll be back at the conclusion of the event. Ladies and gentlemen, John F. Farrell.
And good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, we are excited about the unbelievable opportunity to be in Tampa, Florida. The Grand Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi has not had an opportunity to be in session in person since 2019. We're excited about the opportunity. This Grand Chapter meeting is going to be one for the ages, and it started extremely 10 years ago when the Grand Board of Directors met and decided that, hey, we're going to finally come to Tampa. We are going to finally come to Tampa. So we're extremely excited about all those opportunities of having that chance to come to Tampa, and I'm excited to be here. One of those things I have an opportunity to do is to introduce to you our stage, to let you see and hear from everybody that's up here with us this evening. To my right and your left, excuse me, we'll start with our back row. Alumni member of the Grand Board of Directors, Mr. Cliff Franklin. Alumni member of the Grand Board of Directors, Mr. Robert Jenkins. The Grand Historian, Mr. Kevin Scott. Chairman of the Grand Chapter Nominating Committee, Mr. Harris. Representing the Kappa Alpha Psi Foundation, in which our foundation is our philanthropic arm of the fraternity, do an excellent job in the programs that we build. And I'm so happy that we always make sure our affiliate organizations be able to represent our big, large Kappa family. So we have Mr. Mike Atkinson, the secretary. The ladies that are extremely dear to us, they're important to everything that we do. We're excited to always have an opportunity to partner with them, and having the president, the national president of the National Silhouettes, Madam President Foster, she's here with us tonight. Representing additional with our undergraduates who take part in what we do during the Conclave and our lead Kappa program that we're here. So we have Brother Chris here with us tonight, Chris Smith. MVAC is another strong arm that we have in the military, and they do a great job, and we celebrate and be happy in all those things that we do in the military. It's extremely important how well they try to make sure we can go out and foster those relationships in our military family. It's extremely important as we do those things in the military. So we have with us, representing MVAC, is Brother Douglas. Continuing the lower seats that we have with us, the pole mark of the Tampa, Florida Alumni Chapter, Brother Collis Ivory. Yeah. Strong support in the house. That means a lot. That means a lot. We also have with us, our undergraduate membership is extremely important. The third and fourth administration in particular, but in general, the Grand Pole Mark stresses how important that our undergraduate demographics is to the lifeline, the lifeblood of the fraternity. So that's extremely important as we make sure we include our undergraduates. You're gonna hear more from them. But with us tonight, but later on this weekend, we're gonna have the rest of our undergraduate delegation with us. But tonight, we have the Grand Lieutenant Strategist, Brother Young, and the Grand Strategist, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. I love that place. He's an unbelievable young man, and he's our Grand Strategist, Brother Bombs. And to my right, to the lower left, all the way to the end, we are bringing Tampa, Florida is located in our southern province and home of the southern province. And so representing the one of the 12 most powerful individuals that we have in the room that do a great job in a lot of things they do. He's one of 12, and we're going to introduce the rest of his colleagues in just shortly. But with us tonight, representing the Southern Province Pole Mark, Chauncey E. Haynes. Bias, just really biased tonight. We're just biased. Also on that lower level with us this evening, we have with us our members of our executive committee, and representing that executive committee, the Grand Keeper of Records and Exchequer, Mr. Ren C. Bass. Continuing with the executive committee, are very important, he does a great job for us, and that's the Senior Grand Vice Pole Mark, Mr. Jimmy McMichael. And ladies and gentlemen, before we get to our fearless leader and our host, but there's other individual here tonight with us. It's rarely that they have an opportunity to get out, and since the pandemic, we have not had an opportunity to see members who have served the fraternity in the highest leadership. So, brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi, tonight we have with us the 30th Grand Pole Mark of Grand Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, Samuel C. Hamilton. And starting with that Council of Province Pole Marks, these brothers do an excellent job for us. They work tirelessly, being the direct extension of the Grand Pole Mark. So it would be extremely important. I want to make sure everybody can say, all the members of the Council of Province Pole Marks, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our leaders of our 12 regions, the Council of Province Pole Mark. And now, to continue on the head table, you're going to hear the stage, you're going to hear later from him this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Pole Mark of Grand Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, Mr. Reuben Shelton III, Esquire. And what an opportunity to honor, to ditto everything that our National Grand Chapter Planning Committee, KJ Johnson, did so adequately early on. A great event for us this evening. We are extremely happy, but more importantly, we have our business partners that visit Tampa Bay. We want to make sure we show support of our business partners, our hotel partners. It's extremely important that we have representatives from our hotel partners, that's from the Marriott, the JW, the Embassy Suites, the Westin, the Convention Center, the Tampa Convention Center, extremely important that we have. The transportation division of Tampa that we have. All of these things come together to make what we have an event of making sure it's an impressive event. Let's give them an experience. And Tampa Bay has truly right now provided an opportunity to give us an opportunity to give an experience. So we're extremely happy with that. And now, as we continue on, and you can be more excited to hear from this next gentleman, Mr. Ryan Clark, a husband, a father, an NFL commentator. But more importantly, I've had an opportunity to have known Brother Clark for extremely very long time. You see, you may think that this 13-year NFL safety and Super Bowl champion had an easy way in doing what he was doing. But in the year 2006, 2007, when I was the first African-American head athletic trainer of the Washington Redskins, and during that particular time, Ryan Clark was my first NFL free agent to work out. Would never forget this. Ryan worked his tail off to get where he is today. It was not an easy road. Nothing was easy. He took the bull by the horn, and he was determined, because the position coach turned to me and said, "John, I know he's out of shape. What do we do? And if you think he can't make and help us, we'll just go over and tell everybody that he just can't do it." He heard that. He looked up at me, and he said, "If you tell him that I can't make it, I'm going to kill you." So this day, I want everybody to know, I'm still here. He's a 13-time NFL defensive player, safety, and a Super Bowl champion. Ladies and gentlemen, a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi who will take us through the rest of the program, Brother Ryan Clark.
I don't really remember the story going exactly like that. I'm pretty sure I didn't threaten him. So he told me to be really excited about being here, right? He was like, "I need you to be really excited. The excitement needs to come from you. They need to be able to see it. They need to be able to see it in the crowd. They need to be able to see it on video." But for a second, I'm just going to have to take some time to say something that has probably been 21 years in the making. In January of 2001, I went to the first entrance meeting. If you told me at that entrance meeting I get an opportunity to host this event, I never would have thought it. Never would have thought I've accomplished enough. I never would have thought I had done enough to deserve this opportunity. So I'm extremely grateful. Now here's the other thing. For 21 years, I have not been able to come to this event. For 21 years, I didn't get to hear that I was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. So I say thank you. Now I played 13 years. I won a Super Bowl. I became a Pro Bowler. I've accomplished a lot of things. I have been so blessed. I beat death. I don't have a spleen. I don't have a gallbladder. I don't have a piece of my liver. I lost 40 pounds before going into a hospital in a month. Right? So I know God is real. Right? I know he provides. Right? And so, and I know that if you work, if you do many things, if you put your faith in him, you can accomplish anything within your skill set. there is not many things I am more proud of than being a member of this fraternity. So even through those times, my brothers at New Iota, always there, always supported. My uncle, Harold Clark of Alpha Sig, he wrote me for all 4 years of high school to try to convince me to go to Southern. And I was like, hey man, the people that go to the games, they go to see the band. I want to go to a school that they actually go to see the football players, right? They was more concerned about what the AKAs and the Delta was wearing more so than they were the people on the field. The next letters I would get every semester, he would tell me that the men of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated need men like you. And for 3 years, every semester, I'd read that letter, and I say, you know what, Unc? I got to play football. You know what, Unc? I got to do school. Finally, the spring semester of the 4th year, I decided to make one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I'm grateful to all you men. I'm grateful to all the women out there that understand what being a part of this fraternity means. So, it's probably not very often that like a neophyte gets to host this event, right? And so probably slightly before January 5th, I got to officially call myself a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. And I was working on January 4th on national TV. And I'm supposed to wear a suit, and I'm supposed to wear a tie, but what you gonna do, kick me off of TV? So I decided that I was gonna represent myself, and I was gonna represent the men that I respect more than anybody in the world that feel the same way about this fraternity that I do. And so what I wanna tell y'all is, for 7 years, I played with Mike Tomlin. And I had a ritual. I just had to do the same thing all the time because I felt like if I did the same thing all the time and if I had a regimen that if something bad happened that day, it just wasn't my fault. The other dude was just better. And the last thing that I would do every Sunday we played, or if it was Monday, or if it was Thursday, I'd walk up to Coach T, I'd dap him off, and I'd hug him, right? And I'd say achievement. And I'd walk off after dapping him, and about 2 steps in, he'd say, in every field of human endeavor. And I did that for 7 years of my life, every football game I played. So even though during those times I couldn't say out loud that I was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, I was always a member of this fraternity. And so I want to say I'm excited to be here, as you told me to be, John. And if anybody knows John, y'all, I'm taking too long. KJ going to be so mad, but I am so excited, and I'm sorry. I'm going to get y'all out of here. John called me and said, RC, do you want to host this? Yes, John, I'll host it. Do y'all know John has called me 274 times since then? Guys, he held my shirt hostage. In order for me to get my shirt, I had to go sit in his room and go through my entire binder so I could host this event. But that's John. That's how much he loves it, and that's how much it means to all of us. So to every man out there, to every woman out there, I say thank you. I am so grateful to be here. So now we can get started. Obviously, we heard Brother Burrell, John, he introduced Brother Balms and Brother Young, and they're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing to get the undergraduates excited about 2023 in Tampa, how they're going to get them engaged, how they're going to make them understand what it's like to experience this fellowship, this brotherhood that is like no other. I can't wait for the 6 victims of circumstance, who are my brothers, who were with me to experience this. So I'm going to give the microphone, a microphone, not my microphone, because I earned this microphone, to Brother Brahms and Brother Young, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing to get people excited or to get their brothers excited about being here next year. All right. You need to stand up.
All right. Good evening, everybody. As I said, my name is not Brother Bombs. Oh my God, Yenda Bombs. And so I'm the grant strategist. So for undergraduates, right, like Conclave is going to be a really, really great opportunity. First and foremost, it's been over, 3 years since we've actually gotten a chance to fellowship in person. Anybody can tell you in this room the impact and the power that has to be able to shake your brother's hand, have a conversation from all industries. So first and foremost, like, that's unmatched. Beyond that, there are other programs that undergraduate brothers can be a part of. One of the biggest ones being Lead Kappa. So from July 14th to July 18th, selected brothers get to come, and it's a course of networking, community service, and fellowship. Fortune 500 companies are going to come down, brothers can get a chance to network with. We're going to go back into the community, give back, do what we need to do. And then on top of that, you just get to fellowship with brothers from all walks of life. That's an experience that you really can't even describe. And so that's one of the biggest things. And also, it doesn't hurt that, if selected for Lead Kappa, your registration for the Grand Chapter meeting is covered. So for me, as a college student, or recently graduate, money's kind of tight. And so, I'm not going to lie. So it's a great opportunity. That's one of the biggest things. And then it's going to run right into Conclave. And Trey's going to kind of come up and talk about what Conclave kind of has in store.
Good evening. My name is Harold Young. I'm the Grand Lieutenant Strategist, and to piggyback off what Brother Bond said, to continue the week of the Grand Chapter meeting, we will kind of dive into a more formal setting where we dive into our business sessions and to learn about more leadership to our undergrads and to get them more involved in the leadership of Kappa. And to continue through the week, we're going to have numerous social events, or where we have numerous tournaments, stuff like that, and to be on the lookout for those flyers and dates to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, brothers. We appreciate that. Everybody knows how important it is to ingratiate our undergraduates, to get them to know what the life is like, what the fellowship is like, and that this is a lifetime bond. I think that's the thing that is underestimated about what we do, what we decide to go through, the things that we do in order to love each other, right? In order to be accepted by one another, but also to help each other. I can't tell you the amount of times I've gotten phone calls, hey, brother, do you need me? Hey, brother, can I help you with this? And so that needs to start with our undergraduates and bringing them in, welcoming them in, and allowing them to understand that the reason that we are all sitting here, the reason that you guys and that we are all so close and these brothers continue to come back year after year after year is because it's a lifetime bond. It's not about a couple of weeks. It's not about a check that you write, right? It's about what we all feel about this fraternity and what we are willing to do for one another. So now we're going to see some of the videos that are going to describe the things that we have going on at the events. And we're going to start with the Kappa Alpha Psi Foundation and our president, Michael J. DuBose, and he's going to give you a little overview of the things we have to come.
Hello, my brothers. I'm Michael J. DuBose, President and Chairman of the Board of the Kappa Alpha Psi National Foundation. I am so excited that we'll be together again next summer in wonderful Tampa, Florida, for the 86th Grand Chapter meeting. You know, your foundation has been very active serving our Grand Fraternity by supporting our national philanthropic causes, supporting our young brothers and high school students with scholarships across the country, and ensuring that when natural disasters happened, we were there supporting you, our brothers, and your families in your time of need. You know, during the 84th Grand Chapter meeting, our foundation will have our summer board meeting, a K100 executive leadership reception for K100 members and new members, and our national signature event, Celebration of Achievement Luncheon, that everyone is invited to. Our goal, again, will be to award over $100,000 in scholarships, as we have done annually for the last several years. We will also partner with the fraternity in supporting a national community cause in a greater Tampa area in partnership with Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. My brothers, it has almost been 4 years since we have come together nationally, and I am truly excited and looking forward to seeing all of you as we celebrate being together in a great clan of Kappa Alpha Psi. See you in Tampa, and yo to the Dukes.
Greetings, Silhouettes. As we grow closer to the 86th Grand Chapter meeting of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and our 50th National Silhouettes meeting. I am pleased to announce the great comeback of 2023. As your national president, I am elated that time has been allocated for us to be able to come together in 2023 to conduct our Silhouettes business, but most importantly, to fellowship and reconnect with our oh so sweet Silhouette sisters. As we have been collaborating for 50 years nationally and 75 years of stellar support for our Kappa men, supporting their programs and any task they may have asked of us has been phenomenal. As we prepare to come together, the host chapter cordially invite you to the beautiful city of Tampa, Florida, for the 2023 national meeting, which will take place July 18th through the 23rd at the Marriott Hotel on the Bay. Tampa is filled with so much rich history. It is known for its museums, eccentric art, food, and other cultural offerings. And the uniqueness doesn't stop. It is home of the famous Busch Gardens. If you're a sports fan, you would be right at home with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football team and the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. One of my favorite spots when I visit Tampa is the Tampa Bay Riverwalk that connects to a variety of restaurants, public art, entertainment, shopping, yes, shopping, and so much more. Silhouettes, our planning team, is looking forward in providing you with the most memorable experience for your enjoyment. So save the date. At this time in 2023, all roads will lead to Tampa for our national meeting. We will be waiting patiently for your arrival. Blessings to each of you, and I will see you in 2023.
Hello, my name is Kevin Burnett. I'm your National Guide Right Chairman. Started in 1922, Guide Right is now 100 years old and is the oldest and most successful mentoring organization of young people of color, and has impacted over 500,000 young lives. We strive to create the next generation of leaders and to assist young people with reaching their fullest potential. At the 86th Grand Chapter meeting, the best in student achievement and Guide Right excellence will be celebrated. National Guide Right will have two highlight events at the 86th. The National Student of the Year meeting, which will feature outstanding high school students and undergraduate brothers from each province. Students and undergraduate brothers must first compete at the province level and then will compete at the 86th. We want a high school student and an undergraduate brother from each province to participate, so please apply at the province level. The National Guide Right Awards meeting will highlight the accomplishments of over 8,000 mentored students, 197 chapters, and over 1,000 Kappa men who mentor. Province winners in Guide Right excellence will be celebrated. I encourage every chapter to submit to your province and every province to submit their winners to National Guide Right. These events are open to the public, and I encourage you and your friends and family to attend. You won't regret it.
My brothers, my name is Christopher J. Smith. I am an Eta Gamma chapter initiate, spring 2008 at Middle Tennessee State University. I have the esteemed honor and pleasure to serve the fraternity as the director of the Lead Kappa and ULI programs. I hope that you've seen content from the 2022 class, the Kappa class of ULI. They had one heck of an experience in Charlotte, North Carolina. That could be you in Tampa in 23. My ask and my plea is that you apply early. Don't keep it a secret. Let your line brothers know, your SANs, your friends, everyone in the group chats and the group meetings and TikTok and all the IG groups. You do not want to miss this experience. We will proudly present to you a program that you will never forget. We expect to have Fortune 500 company executives. We expect to have folks in political office. We expect to have leaders in the US military. And we expect to ensure that you can grow not only as a civic leader, as a student leader, but prepare yourself to be a leader in your careers, wherever that might take you. We'll kick off the week on a Saturday, but we'll engage and connect all the way through the back part of the conclave. And if I hadn't mentioned it, and if you hadn't heard, this experience is all expense paid. Your expectation is to come, crush it, learn and grow and experience and network all throughout the week. But then when conclave kicks off, to use all of the experiences and learned opportunities to jumpstart in your conclave experience. This is something that only a few brothers in the past have had the opportunity to engage in. This year, we only expect to have 50 to 60 of you in the room. First come, first serve, the best and the brightest, the creme de la creme of the Kappa Alpha Psi. We expect to have a great time with you in 2023 in Tampa. My name is Christopher J. Smith. I look forward to seeing you in the room. We're starting to plan now. Thank you.
Greetings, brothers. I'm Dr. Stephen A. Broughton, MD, National Chairman of Health and Wellness for Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. As we prepare for our 86th Grand Conclave in Tampa, Florida, I'm proud to say that Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity continues to lead the way in educating our membership, families, and communities in good health practices and recognizing possible medical and mental health issues that may significantly affect each and every one of us. Under the leadership of our 34th Grand Pole Mark, Reuben A. Shelton III, Esquire, we will continue, brother to brother, breaking barriers and building bridges as we truly commit to being our brother's keeper. As a practicing psychiatrist, I have particularly been involved in the Grand Pole Mark's core program, mental health education, awareness, and treatment. We have presented national webinars on suicide prevention, mental health in the age of COVID-19, mental health, the powers of triggers and responses, holiday health and peace of mind, and removing the stigma with mental health in the Black communities. We have partnered with the Veterans Administration in coordination with our National Chairman of Military Veterans Affairs, General Hawthorne Proctor, to address veterans, our veteran population daily dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder and acute stress disorders secondary to current events. Although this partnership was initially following a tragedy where our brother succumbed to suicide, we communicated with several brothers after that who have received pertinent information which may have changed their lives. We also have partnered with the Kappa Camp under the supervision of our National Committee Chairman, Brother Maurice West, in speaking on bullying and suicide prevention in children and adolescents, which has increased significantly in the past decade before the pandemic crisis. We have conversations and develop partnerships as well for sponsorships under the leadership of our Vice Chairman, Antonio Martez, who has connected us with Black Health Matters, Good Health Wins, All of Us Research Program, the Red Cross, March of Dimes, Confess Project founded by Brother Lorenzo Lewis, the National Penitentiary Council, and Orly Smith Cancer Research Foundation. We look forward to working with our local community partnerships as well in Tampa and organizing our Grand Conclave Health Fair, and these will be identified and acknowledged significantly in the days to come. And addressing the very significant healthcare disparities in America and in our communities, Kappa Alpha Psi will continue to lead by example. Thank you, brothers. Look forward to seeing you in Tampa, Florida in 2023. Yo.
Greetings, brothers, silhouettes, and friends of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm Major General Retired Hawthorne Pete Proctor, and I served as the Grand Chapter Chairman of the Military and Veterans Affairs Commission, or as you may have heard it called, MVAC. I'm proud to say that this is our 4th Grand Chapter meeting as a commission and the first as a formally recognized commission of our esteemed fraternity. It gives me great pleasure to invite you, along with your family and friends, to participate in the MVAC activities during the 86th Grand Chapter meeting located in Tampa, Florida, from July the 18th through the 22nd, 2023. We plan to host a military mentoring seminar and a veterans seminar for the public to attend. Additionally, we will be providing information on our MVAC rollout initiative and supplying updates on our fraternity status within the Departments of Defense and Veteran Affairs. Finally, there are several opportunities for sponsorships, including The military and veterans display booths for $3,500 each, one military and veterans award banquet reception sponsor for $10,000, two military and veteran awards banquet sponsors for $25,000 each, and table sponsorships at $1,500 each. Additional information will be published in our upcoming prospectus. We're looking forward to seeing you, our friends, our silhouettes, and our brothers in Tampa next year, because we will have quite a bit in store for each of you.
Welcome to the Conclave on the Bay. You've never seen a sunshine state like this. Known for its beautiful Gulf Coast beaches, world-class theme parks, professional teams, and perfect weather. Just when you thought we couldn't get further apart, Kappa Alpha Psi will be back stronger than ever for the most enjoyable event in Conclave history. The brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi are ready to make a wave in Tampa. From Ybor to downtown, they are gonna make the city home. As the business is getting done, the brothers will fellowship and enjoy the city. Are you ready to join the city of Tampa and the Tampa Alumni Chapter at the 86th Grand Chapter meeting? Get ready for a comeback like none other. Be ready for the business of Kappa and the enjoyment of the brotherhood. Prepare for Clave on the Bay. We will see you there.
To the Grand Pole Mark, Reuben A. Shelton III, Esquire. To our past Grand Pole Mark, Samuel C. Hamilton. Members of Kappa Alpha Psi's Grand Board of Directors, Province Pole Marks, distinguished guests, all brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi who can hear my voice, and Kappa silhouettes. On behalf of the Tampa Alumni Chapter, I want to extend a welcome to my Kappa brothers and the community at large as we prepare for the Conclave on the Bay in Tampa, Florida in July 2023. We plan to make the 86th Grand Chapter meeting the most memorable and largest conclave ever. Tampa has a lot to offer. We want our first in-person conclave in 4 years to be dynamic, amazing, and wonderful. We want at least 5,000 brothers registered. I know KJ said he wanted 3,000. We want 5,000 registered for the Grand Chapter meeting. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity and its membership can rise to those heights. Again, we look forward to seeing you at the Conclave on the Bay in July 2023. Please visit us at our website, www.kappaconclave2023.com, for the latest conclave activities and purchase conclave paraphernalia. Thank you very much.
And now we'll bring up the 86th Grand Chapter meeting, Distinguished Citizens Honorees. And we're going to start with Balinthia A. Berry, Masters of Science. Balinthia A. Berry is the acting dean of the Workforce Development at St. Petersburg's College. There, she manages workforce and professional development training programs that meet the needs of local and national businesses, industries, and individuals. As an advocate of community and a community servant, Balinthia provides service and advocacy to her community through nonprofit organizations such as the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated, NCBW, a women's advocacy group, as a current member of the National Board of Directors.
I'm the dean now.
And she the dean now. Y'all trying to get me in trouble. Thank you very much. Also, we have Estralita Berry, Master of Arts, and I get to call her Lo because I went to her and I asked, was that going to be okay? She serves as the president and CEO of Reach Up Incorporated, a community nonprofit whose mission is to advocate for and mobilize resources to help communities achieve equality in healthcare and positive healthcare for families, creating and implementing 12 programs designed to help our communities achieve equality in healthcare and positive health outcomes for families across the life source. Commendable service is rendered as an affiliate faculty at the University of South Florida, College of Public Health, Department of Community and Family Health. Dr. Dexter M. Frederick. Dr. Frederick is currently the founder and CEO of Brain Expansion Scholastic Training Incorporated, BEST, a community-based initiative whose mission is to identify, inspire, develop, and educate with a focus on the underrepresented and disadvantaged youth, so to address the national shortage of healthcare professionals that will impact underserved communities. He's the author of the book, Flatlining, Reviving the Heartbeat of Diversity in Medicine, which sheds light on the lack of representation of medical professionals of color. Leslie J. Miller, Jr. Leslie J. Miller currently serves as principal at Schumacher Advisors in Florida, LLC. He has previously served as a member of Hillsborough County Commission, 3rd District member of the Florida Senate, 18th District, and member of the Florida House of Representatives, 59th District. Leslie became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated on June 7th, 1975. Through the University of South Florida chapter, the Zeta Chi chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, and is a lifetime member. Dr. Kevin B. Sneed, who is not here tonight. Dr. Kevin Sneed is a tenured professor at the founding dean of the USF Health Tunisia College of Pharmacy. He also serves as senior associate vice president of USF Health. Dr. Sneed's research and clinical interests include the advancement of pharmaceutical treatment of patients with cardiometabolic disorders, examining healthcare disparities, and emerging health technologies. He directed a program known as In Shape, Interprofessional Students Health Assessment Project and Evaluation, which addresses cardiovascular disparities in Tampa, Florida. And can we please give one final hand for our honorees? You know, this has been my time, at least until the end. And so now I'm going to introduce at least the first man who is much more important than me here today. We're going to bring up Chauncey E. Haynes. He's the Southern Province Polemarch, and then he's going to have the job of introducing our next speaker, so I'll get to chill out for a little while.
Thank you, Brother Clark. I just want to know, did everybody enjoy the food? Right. I knew that once I saw all that delicious food that John was feeding us, Brother Grant Polemarch, I knew we were going to be here more than an hour. So I just knew it. I knew he was setting us up for something. But I do want to also acknowledge our elected officials. I think we had a school board member here, our county commissioner come in, and of course our former elected officials, Silhouette, and our former national Silhouette president, Silhouette Gwen Myers, if you would be recognized. And I also just want to welcome you to the, I love my colleagues here that are here, the other province Polemarchs, but to the greatest province in all of Kappa Alpha Psi. Here, here, that's right. Then you can applaud, you can applaud. Where achievement is what we do here in the Southern Province, where we have the 30th Grand Polemarch here in our province, the 26th Grand Polemarch. I mean, you know, the 32nd, I mean, I'll stop there. But I mean, you know, the greatest province in all of Kappa Alpha Psi here. We welcome you here, and we look forward to having you back for the Conclave on the Bay, the 86th Grand Chapter meeting. But it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce, they gave me 2 minutes, I'm sorry, to introduce, y'all got a little nervous there, didn't you? No, to introduce someone that, as they say, that doesn't need an introduction. But now, you know, if you were a mathematician, you might have Einstein. You know, if you were a politician, maybe you'd say Barack Obama. Now, if you didn't understand that, let me go a little deeper. In wrestling, you might have Ric Flair. Y'all might be too little young for that, Ric Flair. But instead of having all of those, anybody that I would want on my side, I would just want our senior grand vice Polmar. I would like to introduce to you and present to others Brother Jimmy McMichael, our senior grand vice Polmar.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I have perhaps the best job of the agenda tonight. In addition to having the best job, I also have the easiest job. So I have the best job because I get the opportunity to introduce the man, the leader of this great fraternity. I get the opportunity to introduce the man who is the face of achievement in every field of human endeavor. I get to introduce the man who represents leadership and training for leadership. But I also have the easiest job because everyone who's watching me right now knows who this man is. And you know his story, and you know how great he is. But for the one or two people who may not know, let me give him his due. First of all, he truly represents achievement in everything that he does, not only in the fraternity, but professionally. He served as the president of the Missouri Bar Association. He had a long and distinguished career as chief litigation counsel for Monsanto Corporation. He's achieved in this fraternity since his initiation into the Mu chapter, the University of Kansas, where he served as the captain of the basketball team. He served with distinction in the St. Louis community in the St. Louis alumni chapter. He had the opportunity to serve with distinction as the Middle Western Province Polemarch, as a member of our Grand Board of Directors, as the Senior Grand Vice Polemarch, and right now he's here as the man, the one, the only, the 34th man to ever serve in his role. So at this time, at this moment, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to rise to your feet. I'm going to ask you to clap your hands. I'm going to ask you to stomp your feet. I'm going to ask you, as Don Cornelius would say, show some love for the Grand Polemarch of Kappa Alpha Psi, Fraternity Incorporated, Mr. Reuben A. Shelton III, Esquire.
Good evening, everybody. If you think God is amazing, say amen. Amen. I always like to know who I'm talking to. So first of all, thank you so very, very much, Senior Grand Vice Polemarch, Brother McMichael. Brother McMichael and I, we go way, way back. He is not only a consummate professional, he teaches other people how to be professional, but he is a dear friend and a great, great leader in our fraternity. So please give him another round of applause. So God is truly amazing for a lot of reasons. One reason is that Madam Commissioner is going to give us $150,000. Another reason is that I'm here today because many of you in this room know that we had a glitch. Brother Miller, Sherri, many of you know that we had a glitch, but we are here. But there were times when I thought that Sherri and Brother Miller would never allow me to come into the state of Florida again. Or at least do me great bodily harm. But we are here. And I am so proud of all of the people that you have met in the room today. You know, our distinguished team, our great leaders within our grand board and the officers and all of the men who represent the best of Kappa Alpha Psi. You see them here. You see them out in the audience. These are men who, for no compensation, I might add, they give their time, their talent, and their commitment to do all of the wonderful things that you have seen on the screen, all of the wonderful things that you have heard about. And trust me, if you don't believe me, ask my wife. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to serve Kappa Alpha Psi. And Madam Commissioner, you're an AKA. Oh, God bless you. My wife is an AKA. My daughter's an AKA. All of my daughters are AKAs. All of my nieces are AKAs. My doctor is an AKA. I was at your boule. I was at your boule, yeah. And I told them then that every woman in my life is an AKA, and that's the truth. And that is the truth. But they can all tell you what it truly takes to be a Kappa man. But I am so very, very proud. And people see me on social media, and I go a lot of places, and they say, "Wow, you got to do all of those things. They make you do all of those things." No, I get to do all of those things. I get to do those things because, again, without compensation, because we do such wonderful things for people in Kappa Alpha Psi. It is a labor of love to serve our great fraternity for over 111 years. And I can tell you why. You've seen all of the programs on the video, but let me give you an example because Dr. Broughton is in the back of the room. He indicated that one of my signature programs for the 34th administration is mental health. And Dr. Broughton, and I was so proud of him, he had a virtual program, it streamed live on YouTube and a lot of different things, on mental health. And there was a young man, Dr. Broughton can attest to this. I believe Dr. Broughton, he was 16, 17 years old, something like that. He was a young man, I do know that, right? And sometimes it almost brings tears to my eyes because during that program, sponsored by our fraternity, the fraternity that I love so much, he said, "I was going to commit suicide tonight. And it's because of your program that I now have hope." That's why we serve Kappa Alpha Psi. That's why we are in this room tonight. That's why we partner with the Red Cross on blood drives. That's why we partner with the American Cancer Society. That's why we partner with St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. We do all of these things because we are a service fraternity and we serve people. And so, no, they don't make me do this. I get to do this. And people talk about Brother John Burrell, God bless him. I would tell you what, man, every time I see John, I go to work. John will make you work. Sometimes I say, "Damn, man, who's the grand pole mark here?" But anyway, I love being with you all. It's a wonderful, we're finally, we were in Tampa last year, 2 years, when were we in Tampa? We were here for our virtual meeting, and now we're back. And there is no other place I would rather be. Thank you for being with us tonight. God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, so that wraps up what we've been here to bring to you this evening. We thank you for coming. And we will have some desserts in the back of the room as well as the open bar for the next half hour, 45 minutes. So you're welcome to stay. And with that, I'll leave the last words to our executive director. Thank you.
And again this evening, truly was amazing to begin that journey, that long journey that we have been going through, and now we're finally here. But there's one special thing, Brother Graham Polmark. When we really knew that President Corrada, you were really serious about us being here in Tampa, and Visit Tampa Bay has extremely been great to us, Hillsborough County. I mean, just the entire community has been wonderful. And one of the nicest things you did was coming here and Grandpa Mark Shelton, one of his first visits, and you authorized for us to have a dinner, and it was an important time to have an opportunity to get together, and we did that. Brother Grandpa Mark, could you come right up here for me, right here in the middle? Right there.
I told you.
Okay. And could the following individuals come up here for me? Mr. Ryan Tucker, Joe Lewis. Joe, Ryan, come right here. Mr. and Mrs. Miller, come right here. Miss Sherri Brown, could you come on the other side? Sherri, right here. Mr. and Mrs. Miller. Ryan, Sherri Brown. Ivory, come over here. Mr. and Mrs. Daniels. Could you come up, Mr. and Mrs. Daniels, come to the right, to my right? And I do have KJ. You still here with me? Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Daniels. None of these individuals have no idea what's going on. They just whatever. And I think today you might have gotten some notifications in the mail, but UPS, you probably get a lot of them, not for sure exactly what that is. So, Brother Grandpa Mark, he's always passionate about, thanking those individuals who have impacted everything that we do, but I always want to make sure you get an experience. So that evening, President Corrada had a great evening to be able to fellowship. But one of those things that was captured was we had an opportunity to take a photo together. But more importantly, the photo was just a great expression of us getting together, and it's captured in the newspaper, and we had an opportunity to have it. So everyone here, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, you have one at your home, Daniels, Joe, Tuck, KJ, Grandpa Mark, Sherri. They got these in the mail. So if you get what you got at home that was shipped to you, and it's authorized, and every one of you signed this over a year ago. You didn't know what you were signing. No, they did this a year ago. We were here for our virtual national meeting. So he wanted to make sure you had a small piece of an experience. It's framed, all autographed, and it should be at the doorsteps at your home pretty soon. All right? Yes. Yeah, we're waiting for you. Thank you so much. Have a seat. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Thank you. And Brother Grandpa Mark, yours is at home. It's shipped. That's what this is. Exactly. Thank you so much. And following the program, we have some PSAs that we'll be taping. Many of you have been notified of the Council of Prophets Poll Marks, our Grand Chapter officers. We're doing these important PSAs to express from our regions that will be pushed out home to our membership, that they'll be having some questions presented to them so we can continue to have that excitement build as we make our way of all roads leading to Tampa Bay. And so we're excited about that. So with that being said,
Get the last word?
Mr. ESPN commentator, come on up here.
I gotta be quick.
Yes, take us home.
First of all, thank you all for coming out. This has been an amazing night, an amazing opportunity. I mean, to sit up here with all of these great men, to be sitting next to the Grand Pole Mark, for me is one of the most exciting nights of my life. I can be honest, I talk for a living and they pay me for it. I am never this nervous. This was extremely important for me. I work about like 8 jobs, but it was important and I got an opportunity to do this. So to all the brothers, we want to take over Tampa next year. We want so many brothers down here that people can't walk the streets without talking to us, without seeing the love, without seeing the excitement, without experiencing the brotherhood. 21 years ago, I was taught that the road was long, rough, and rugged. I've also found out that it's worth it. So one day, I hope that y'all can all be as proud of me as I am to be a part of this amazing fraternity. We love y'all. Can't wait to see y'all next summer. We're going to turn up. We're going to learn some things. We're going to do business. But most of all, we're going to show love. Y'all have a great night.
whisper